1970, 1970, 1970, 1970. Nací un día de junio del año 77, planeta Mercurio y el año de la serpiente. Signo patente tatuado y en mi frente que en el vientre de mi madre marcaba el paso siguiente. Nacer, llorar sin anestesia en la camilla. Mi padre solo dijo es Ana María. Sí sería el primer llanto que me probaría, que mandó las heridas y dándome la batería. Solía ser entonces como un libro abierto, pero leí la letra pequeña del texto, como un arquitecto construyendo cada efecto. Correcto, incorrecto, se aprende todo al respecto. Saber que algunas personas quieren el daño, subir peldaño toma tiempo, toma año. Con mi peluche mirando lo cotidiano, dibujos transformaban el invierno en gran verano. Papá me regaló bajo mi insistencia un juego que trataba de compartir la solvencia, pero en el patio hicieron la competencia. Fue cuando sentí mi primera impotencia. 1970, 1970, 1970, 1977. No me diga no, que no lo presiento. Todo lo que cambia lo hará diferente en el año que nació la serpiente. 1977. No me diga no, que no lo presiento. Todo lo que cambia lo hará diferente en el año que nació la serpiente. Mi adolescencia fue una etapa bizarra. El cuerpo es batería y la cabeza guitarra. La orquesta narra una tonada quebrada para la mirada de una niña que solo talla espada. Hormona disparada, sobrepobladas de información que cambian temporadas. Caminas encrucijada, cada cual en su morada preparaba la carnada. La sagrada diablada de mirada encabronada. Mi fila la verdad nunca buscó su silla. Mi búsqueda fue mero proceso de pura pila. Pupila de poeta que marcó nuestra saliva en la cordillera que miraba la salida. La parada militar de paso monótono, colores policromos, los uniformes de poco tono. De tono mi cuestionamiento, la voz y sonó, no. Mi primera rima que sonó y me enroló. Mi búsqueda no fue para mi cosa de escenario, fue algo necesario y que marcaba ya mi fallo. Así que tú hablas más de lo necesario. Fue cuando entendí que todos quieren ser corsario. 1970, 1970, 1970, 1977. No me diga no, que no lo presiento. Todo lo que cambia lo hará diferente en el año que nació la serpiente. 1977. No me diga no, que no lo presiento. Todo lo que cambia lo hará diferente en el año que nació la serpiente.
Copyright disclaimer. This content does not belong to Bible Chronicles or claim this intellectual property. The content provided today has and always will belong to the content owner. Bible Chronicles does not have any affiliation with the owner of this property. As mentioned, Bible Chronicles did not intend to make use of any material for the purpose of harvesting gain. However, Title 17 of United States copyright law states material in use can only be done when it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use, which honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
Hey, Shalom fam, Shalom. Hey, listen, you that are listening, I posted 2 links just now. One book is called The Lost Tribes, a Myth. The other book is called A Treatise. All right, we're going to go into those books today. We're about to slash or slither or however you want to call it, some Canaanites, okay? That's why they call me Joshua family. I'm here to make sure I can cook some of them up for being damn liars. I'm not really ready yet, but I'm just letting y'all know. Download them. They're off of, well, one of them you would have to borrow. The other one you can download, fam. But do me a favor, get ready for it, okay? I'm not, look, listen, I don't normally tell y'all to, stick around. You don't want to miss this, but no, you don't want to miss it today. Not today. Because you know what? Like everything else, eventually, man, people leave their tracks, all right? I'm almost ready, fam. All right, I'll be right back. Give me a few minutes.
Y no me digan que es verdad, si dentro de la fama queda poca humildad. ¿Y cuánto tiempo pasará para darle bendición a toda la humanidad? Y no me digan que es verdad, si dentro de la fama queda poca humildad. ¿Y cuánto tiempo pasará para darle bendición a toda la humanidad? Vivo entre personas que no saben apreciar el corazón, pues el mundo se volvió superficial. Todos tienen 10.000 caras, ya no sé ni a cuál mirar. Si sé que los labios de todas me pueden engañar, y aún aprendo a ir a mi ritmo y a los demás respetar, pero nunca iré de listo, la vida aún me ha de enseñar. Aprendizaje constante, jamás deja de soñar, saber mirar hacia adelante y en los demás no pensar. Pero darte pena ni que me digas qué tal, pues mirándome a los ojos lo podrás averiguar. Ya tan solo siento pena por el que le gusta actuar sin pensar en las consecuencias que le pueden causar. Y no me digan que es verdad, si dentro de la fama queda poca humildad. ¿Y cuánto tiempo pasará para darle bendición a toda la humanidad? Y no me digan que es verdad, si dentro de la fama queda poca humildad. ¿Y cuánto tiempo pasará para darle bendición a toda la humanidad? Que se cuentan aquellos que dañan al corazón, solo quieren tu dinero y sentarse en el sillón. Y son tan malos como Don, mienten en cada canción, viven bien en Babilón. Solo pido que acabe su veneno, que no sean tan malos, que sean más buenos. En mi mensaje nada le pone freno, me quemo, si te veo llorar yo me muero, manego. Lord, it's a reggae music, fire not a road. Some Lord, Rasta Chai Connection, estudio guión. Some Lord, it's a reggae music, fire not a road. Some love of a mind, Rasta Chai Connection, estudio guión. Tengan cuidado, cara suena bien pegado. Cuando llega aquí a un estudio, ando reggae trabajado. Muchas cosas malas en la vida han pasado, pero solo con las buenas mis hermanos siempre se han quedado. Y no me digan que es verdad, si dentro de la fama queda poca humildad. ¿Y cuánto tiempo pasará para darle bendición a toda la humanidad? Y no me digan que es verdad, si dentro de la fama queda poca humildad. ¿Y cuánto tiempo pasará para darle bendición a toda la humanidad?
Yo, comentando, ¿qué dicen? Sí, ¿qué cuentan? Ya, escúchame, ya. Los medios cuentan que si hay libertad de prensa, la mordaz es cosa escasa y todos dicen lo que piensan. Y esa sutil es impresa y repetida diariamente, tiene contenta tu mente con yo soy combate y fiesta. Presta el control, Tarantino no es tan gore como los crímenes de amor que a toda hora se nos muestran. Pues tal vez es la estrategia impuesta. Pánico en el público y manejarás encuesta pal. Político en vez de patrullas se vende camilla para un hospital. Como si esa mierda de tombo no diera seguridad. No será casualidad que el otro dueño del canal sea el otro sobrino pero bueno de un primo hermano pariente papá. Si esa nostalgia no es noticia, su codicia se evidencia. Propicia violencia y plástico, panémicas, belleza. Fútbol, patriotismo, falso, culos, vasos de cerveza. Pele cáncer pa' tu mesa y el domingo en misa pesa. Sobre su cabeza pesa el atraso mental del pueblo. Oposición vendió trasero, dictador, grupo Romero. Pero se confundieron, acá la palabra es cruda. Autoeducación, mi camino se afloja la lucha a través de cultura. Es como genera de uno, tal vez otro loco se suma. Ya saben, cortina de humo que explota la mina que mata la cuna. Primo, vengo que trate la friuna, no una pura canción que me dura. Así no censura, emite basura, no le conviene que sepan verdura. Hay extorsiones, violaciones, robo, llanto y más. Con tanto muerto el morbo están alimentando, ves no hay paz. Solo un odio contenido en filis para que vivan en la fantasía algún día cambiará. Hay extorsiones, robo, violaciones, llanto y más. Con tanto muerto el morbo están alimentando, ves no hay paz. Solo un odio contenido en filis para que vivan en la fantasía algún día cambiará.
Sensacionalismo, amigo eterno de la prensa, el mismo que forjó al humano sumiso, callado y muestra. En el noticiero, en el artículo del diario, la vida de una bebé que poco invierte
al vecindario.
Sirven como fieles feligreses a oscuro intereses, mienten todo el día, crían, crean solo estupideces. La historia afirma, indica que siempre negaron información alternativa que todo pueblo merece. A cada instante pareciera su labor asesinar una memoria colectiva que hace una nación, con una prensa cómplice que juega con humor, desconociendo ese dolor que nos dejó ese dictador. Cortina de humo es su mejor función, para apartarte de la fuente harán de todo, pues miró hoy como venderte el culo de Sharon Stone, cagándose en tu derecho a la objetiva información. El narco, el almirante, el presidente, el congresista, algún ministro, algún delegado, de seguro es el patrón de ese periódico morboso y amarillo que al leerlo 2 minutos te vuelve en un show. Los medios son culpables, responsables de toda propaganda basura que te ofrece la TV. Pues será mejor que se autoeduque, pues my friend, porque el comercio de los medios te carcome hasta las 100.
Hay violaciones, extorsiones, robo, llanto y más. Con tanto muerto el morbo están alimentando, ves no hay paz. Solo un odio contenido en filis para que vivan en la fantasía algún día cambiará. Hay extorsiones, violaciones, robo, llanto y más. Con tanto muerto el morbo están alimentando, ves no hay paz. Solo un odio contenido en filis para que vivan en la fantasía algún día cambiará. Que algún día cambiará. Que algún día cambiará.
CPF.
Toma, Vamos a hacerlo esquizo. Disfruto un panorama, el drama sin pantalla plana. El devenir del marketing, un arlequín del China y me habla. Duendes y hadas, me apaga la pava, me aclara la rabia importada. Es la peor cruzada. Prostituta con sueños de monja, todavía se moja. Le meto reja hasta con la guata floja. Por las cuevas te acomplejas, donde se aloja el mal. Si se te oxida el maxilar en orar el Corán. Ese dolor es temporal, cholaco. Que yo no me llamo Lito y tú no eres polaco. Pero está flaco un día más que peco. Seré guanaco ni huevón en nuco. Suficiente con tu grupo y el muñeco es trapo. Abro cerebro, no los lavo. Al buen entendedor todo le queda claro. Los malos triunfaron, no es de Cristo la codicia por el oro, las hogueras, los esclavos. Tampoco tanto tarado robando estrado. ¿Quién es el jurado? Tu pecado es el bocado. El predicado estaba equivocado. Ha guardado la paz, vas a pegarla de santa porque la fe es un mercado que está ligado al Estado. Puño que se levanta, queman las llantas, queman la renta. Esa revolución nadie la inventa. Con casi 30 y sigue pensando en ventas. Pura mierda, se encuentra Dios en tus palabras. Las mías son puertas porque me tientas al instinto. Planta que me alimentó, pronto alimento el
Hey, shalom, family. Shalom, shalom. Hola, buenas. How's everybody doing? Hope y'all well. Oh, willing, you doing good? Oh, willing, y'all been doing good in the last few days. Let's see what we got. Kind of lagged a little bit today, to be frank with y'all. I mean, it's kind of been one of those weird couple of days, to be honest. It wasn't that I was trying to waste time. I had scheduled this class earlier, and just things came up. You know what I'm saying? Anyhow, for the few of you that are here, looks like there's just a couple. It's all good. Whether you watch it now, you watch it later. I'm gonna tell you right now. It's gonna be recorded, so that's always the beauty about these things. So shalom to the YouTube world and to you haters out there. Get in line. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're here for. Joshua, aka Canaanite Slayer. We're about to slay some Canaanites today. Listen, fam. How can I say this, man? You know, I think that anybody that, at least I would say, I would assume, and I don't like to do that, but I'm going to assume that you brothers that are out there, and I call you brothers, the ones that are actually sincere and are Hebrews, that are out there providing classes and teaching, that you do it out of sincere heart, that you do it for the purpose of growth personally, and for the purpose of the nation to grow. Okay. Now, in this walk, when it's there's a lot of investigative work that needs to be applied in this walk. Okay, you cannot just go in this walk. Somebody brings you the Bible and says you're a Hebrew. Oh yeah, I mean I feel like I am, and you run with it, but you're not really doing what you're supposed to. Now, it's the instructions are not difficult, family, and there's a lot of converts going around right now, and it's understandable. I mean, for God's sakes, man, Christians had the Bible. They actually so-called conquered certain lands because of the book. So-called converted people, you know what I'm saying? So in somehow, some way, this fantastic, fabulous book of ours, it's very powerful, and it can technically, if it's prophesied, be in the wrong hands, and it was technically in the wrong hands, and it has been in the wrong hands. Now, why am I saying all of this? Because, you know, me personally, as I go and research and find things, and things are provided for me. Oh, by the way, brother, Los Indios Somos Israelitas, I want to thank you, first of all, for directing us to this book, the one that I asked you brothers to get, The Lost Tribes, a Myth. Okay. We're going to touch on that book. And we're going to actually, I'm going to share with you a piece of this page. And the reason why I am going to be speaking of a particular Canaanite, and I'm going to call him that, was because it's a simple fact that when you have to go that route, you a liar, man. I don't listen, family. I don't know how else to come across, how else to say it. I'm going to hurt people's feelings today because I know that some of y'all love this individual. You like a galore on his knees. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. I came out of that damn school. Okay. But listen, there's one thing of anybody speaking on someone else and saying yada, yada, yada with no proof. Absolutely none. Without even knowing the individual. And you just open your mouth. Yeah, you look ridiculous. But you see, family, I too have some investigative skills. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present this case. I'm going to provide you guys with documentation that has been used and how it's being manipulated. And it's going to you're going to see that I'm not making this up. It's like as if I go and show you guys something but not show you. Well, I mean, I don't even have to be that complicated. It's me showing you a piece of the lie to make it truth. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think any of you that are in this walk, whether you, let me be real with y'all, Hispanic, white, I don't know about I don't know, maybe. Man, no, I met some that seem somewhat sincere. So I'll say it like this across the board right now: Hispanic, black, white, Asian, whatever you want to see. I don't think a lot of people like to be lied to. You know what I'm saying? I don't think, just logically, nobody likes to be lied to. Now, in the fantasy world of Christianity, that happens often. But in this walk, when you're saying and you're teaching righteousness, and then you go out and teach the laws, and you say, thou shalt not lie, then you should be teaching with that intent. But in the back of your mind, right? Knowing that you should not lie at any given moment, especially when you're trying to bring out the scriptures. But one thing, family, that I've learned in this truth, walk, experience, whatever, is how to pay attention. You see, you got to listen to people. Now, there's a difference between marking down everything. Oh my God, yeah. No. You just got to pay attention to people that you deal with. Eventually, they will expose themselves. They will expose themselves in how they speak. Listen, I've been in the, I don't want to say phone industry, the telecommunications industry for the last 26 years. So if anybody knows that world, I know that world, and I pay attention when people speak at every single thing they say. So in my experience, I've learned how to extract all the BS that people say and just pay attention to them keywords. And we're going to point them out today, fam, because eventually these are keywords that show the person behind who is teaching this BS. I mean, listen, I don't know if he's a liar. I don't know if he's a witch. I don't know, man. I honestly don't even know what to put in this man's name. I don't know what title to give this individual anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present a case and showing some people that have dealt with this individual, and then I'm going to provide you guys with what I have and how it doesn't. How if you are still listening to this snake, then I don't know what to tell you. Then you want to be lied to because it is in your face. Eventually, when she don't want you, you get it. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, when she's always dissing you behind your back, eventually you'll know when it's time to go. So my so-called Hispanics, so-called, because now I'm having to question y'all, if you are, with that spirit you're walking with, that are in these camps, or specifically in this camp, because this is your king. You have pronounced this man as your king, as a saint. You have honored him and literally licked his butt, most of y'all, if anything, all of y'all, straight up. You have glorified this individual. And we're going to see right now the kind of BS that he's about. Now, I'm going to show you this real quick, fam. I'm going to show you this real quick. You know how I go. You guys got to walk with me. I mean, you can come and go as you please. Obviously, as YouTube, man, I ain't tearing you guys down, but don't miss a beat. I want to show you. All praises to who cannot remember who sent me this, but if you did, thank you. If you didn't, thank you anyway. All right, let's listen in. These are just messages before the class gets going.
3 months, the United States Supreme Court is going to vote on whether or not 9.7 million Native Americans will have legal rights to their children. And no one's talking about it. Like, no major news outlets are talking about it. I found out about that through TikTok. God bless this app. God bless this app. 9.7 million people. Who cares what race they are? Who cares? 9.7 million people are in fear of the legal rights to their children.
Hey, family, I'm going to tell you this right now. There's the statistics, supposedly. I think it's, I don't know, honestly. 11 million people that are not legal in this country. Now, it says you're Native American, Native Indians, whatever you want to call them. We're all the same people, quite frankly, man. And you know what? This is nothing new to us at all. This is technically Deuteronomy right here, family. 28, 32, and 41. Your sons and your daughters shall be given into another people, and they shall go into slavery. Anyways, let's continue.
And they're voting on it. Like, that thought is so sordid, it makes me feel gross to think about that. That there are people sitting in chairs, looking across from each other, and actually discussing about how they're going to propose that they pass a bill.
Now, we're going to find out who these very same people are and the kind of character or ethics that these very same people walk with. So listen, fam, it ain't just somebody or one particular nation of people. No, man, y'all are getting it. All right, let's go.
That takes away the rights of Native Americans and to their children. Like at what point do we, as the, like, do you all, like, this is what blows my mind. Blows my mind. Is that we are the 99%. And that all of these terrible, god-awful things are all byproducts of the 1%. And we just sit back and say, there's nothing that we can do about it. Or, oh, what are you going to do? Oh, you can't do anything about it. And God forbid anyone stands up and says something about it, because then, oh, what are you doing about it? Comes out. Like that justifies and validates their silence and their refusal to get their hands dirty or speak up. That just tells me that all you give a fuck about is your fucking bank account. You don't give a fuck about people. You're not a good person. That's fucking insane to me. That's fucking insane to me. Yo, if you're a Native American and you see this, if you're a Native American, like an indigenous Native American, like, drop some information about, like, petitions, things that we can sign, rallies, like, dude, I know, like, I'm just a little fucking Irish Honduran dude from fucking Columbus, Ohio. I get that shit. But I will be goddamned if I fucking sit idly by and silent while 9.7 million motherfuckers have to worry about whether or not the 1%'s gonna come take their fucking children. Fuck that. Fuck that. Sign me up to die like Joan of Arc. Fucking up. Martyr, here I come. Fucking
So now let's find out who these decision makers are. I mean, for God's sakes, man, I don't even know how to say it, to be quite frank with y'all. I thought it, the question was asked, like, what do you guys think this is? And here it goes right here. Watch this.
And he said, Dad, guess which is it? Is it NBA or NFL? 36 have been accused of spousal abuse. 7 have been arrested for fraud. 19 have been accused of writing bad checks. 117 have directly or indirectly been bankrupted at least 2 businesses. 3 have done time for assault. 71, I repeat, 71 cannot get a credit card due to their bad credit. 14 have been arrested on drug-related charges. 8 have been arrested for shoplifting. 21 currently are defendants in lawsuits, and 84 have been arrested for drunk driving in the last year. How many of you think NBA? How many of you think NFL? Well, the answer is neither. It's the 435 members of the United States Congress.
Yeah, that's who's making decisions for us, family. That's who's saying, that's right here. Listen.
They pass a bill that takes away the rights in actually discussing about how they're going to propose.
Yep, you got it. Drunks and alcoholics. Drunks, alcoholics, I don't know, man. Womanizers, who knows, man. Who knows, man? Who knows what they got behind their closed doors? Like, you can see that right there, man. I was like, yeah, NBA, I don't know which one, man. It's hard to tell. I was like, I could not imagine right in my mind that they would be in the NFL or in the NBA doing that still. But apparently, no, of course not. It wasn't even them. Right? Again, don't ever assume. Again, these are messages, family. I want y'all to understand these things. Now, listen, I gave you guys this link give you guys this link because I want you to read this at your leisure time. I get emails every now and then, and I guess I don't really. I would understand this may be a thesis or somebody, right? Anthropology in public, y'all can figure it out. It comes from where is it at? I'll give you guys the next class. I'll tell you which one. Anyways, it's look robbing Native American culture mentions Ivan Van Sertima, which I've actually referenced in some classes, and I have a book. But what I reference isn't what he says. I only reference what he has referenced before, meaning that were books prior. So I investigated those books that he referenced, and which I can confirm that that's how what has been said. So I know this guy feels like if you just read it. All right, just read it. That's why I posted that link. Okay. So anyhow, let me show you this real quick. What is this for? Oh yeah.
Question for the black Hebrew faker lines. If you fulfill the Deuteronomy 28 curses, who was your king that came to America?
I guess the question is, who was your king? Well, we kind of know now. You know what I'm saying? At least I kind of know now. I mean, and it's obviously in your face. It's in your face, family. What do you want me to tell you? Start it off real quick, fam. Matthew 12, okay? Let's go to Matthew chapter 12, first of all. I'll save this for later. Hold on. I almost forgot this right here. Let me put it right here, family. Bam. What? Come on, man. Okay, I get it. There we go. All right, let's go to Matthew 12, fam, real quick. Matthew 12, chapter 12, verse 33. Watch what it reads, okay? It says, it goes, let's say, either make the tree good and his fruit good, or else make the tree corrupt and its fruit corrupt. For the tree is known by his fruits. Now remember the title says a tree is known by his fruits. So listen, you can tell by the way how people conduct themselves, family. By the way they speak, by the things they say. You got to pay attention. You can't ignore. Literally, when somebody picks up this Bible and they're out there so-called teaching classes, right? They're putting your face on camera. You got to hold them accountable for everything they say, especially when they're supposedly teaching something that literally is forcing people to change their lives. Okay, you understand? This is not a joke. I've been in these rooms, family. Families have been broken up. People have divorced in there. Divorced prior to, divorced in there. Kids being separated. Fathers leaving their children behind because, they don't believe. Don't worry about it. You can have more. Either make the tree good and its fruit good, or else make the tree corrupt and its fruit corrupt. For the tree is known by its fruits. Now, you notice something right there. There's no gray area, family, in this walk here. You read this right now. There's either good or bad. There's no in between. For the tree is known by its fruits. O generation of vipers, how can ye, being evil, speak good things? That's why, family, you got to pay attention to the way people speak. For out of the abundance of the heart, meaning the mind, the mouth speaketh. So there's a lot that people say. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you just go, grab just a few words. Pay attention to the few words. Man will tell you who he is. Keep him talking, family. A good man out of a good treasure of his heart bringeth forth good things. Again, repeats it. An evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. That also includes seeds, family. I'm going to tell you right now, and I can guarantee, man, I'll probably win so many bets. How many of these people in these camps actually have children, like teenagers or adults, that believe? A good 70% don't. Even the so-called elders' kids don't believe, family. And if they do, guess what? Only a few in between. Proof is in the pudding. Those are facts. That's why you guys leave, people behind. But again, O generation of vipers, verse 34. How can ye, being evil, Speak good things. And we're going to prove it today. Because you know what? I'm like sitting back like, dude, this guy's really, you guys aren't even paying attention to what he's saying to y'all? No. What? Does it not ring a bell? No. Here, Hawk. The troll tribe. Yeah, man. What tribe you from? Sucker. Oh, generation of vipers. How can ye be in evil speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. In Ecclesiastes 1:15, it talks about the crooked. Like, you can't make a... let me go with it. Where's it go? Let me see. Where's that? 15. Ecclesiastes 1:15. That which is crooked, twitched, not straight, cannot be made straight. And that which is wanting cannot be, that cannot be made straight. And that which is wanting cannot be numbered. Wanting. Let's look that word up, family. I have not looked that word up. And quite frankly, I need to know. Let's see what goes on here. Wanting. Says lacking. A certain required necessary. Got it. That which is lacking cannot be numbered. Damn. Wow. Whew, that's heavy. That's a heavy point right there. That which is lacking cannot be numbered. We'll talk about that another time. That which is crooked cannot be made straight. It's almost like algebra. Honestly. That which is wanting cannot be numbered. That which is lacking cannot be numbered. You'll never be satisfied. Again, family, you got to pay attention to people speaks. People speaks. I just did a Mexican right there for y'all. You got to listen to the way people talk. Let's go back. Matthew 12:35. Check this out real quick. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth good fruit. Now, listen, fam. And we're not all perfect. I understand. I get it. No, it can't be. I get it. But for the most part, you can tell when people are liars. You know what I'm saying? And quite frankly, this dude is a liar. He's a liar, he's a witch. I don't know which one. You guys decide. An evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. Because what I'm going to show you, it's pretty wicked, man. So what I'm going to do, first of all, is present to you guys, hey, people that have dealt with them, this is what they've said. So because, people have said, like, for example, if somebody comes to me and says, hey, bro, you better watch out for that dude, man, because, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to listen, but I'm not going to judge that man based on what I was told. I'm going to deal with him. I'll probably deal with him cautiously, but I'll still give him the benefit of the doubt. And eventually I'll make my decision eventually, right? Now, I'm going to be stupid if I really go all the way through and don't cover myself. But you got to give people the chance. Now, eventually, family, they start speaking as to who they are. Watch this. Verse 36. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. Now, those words are not light. These are not light words. This is not a light thing to have in your hand, family. Think about this. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. Everything that you're saying is going to be written down, family. Everything. So now I'm going to show you, because here, I'm going to show, first of all, let's not forget it, okay? Because here's the point. Here, I'm going to show you this real quick. Now, you guys are probably wondering, like, why you got the title like that? Why you put the picture of the bishop? He's so lovable. The real Mamzer. Now, when I was first approaching this class, right? He did one of those. That's why I'm doing it today. Shout out Tuesday, Nate. That's Nate. Well, that's what you're gonna know why I'm calling you that. So you know what I mean? I was gonna do it a couple days, but then like, yeah, the most I just said, man, right now, do it right now. The real Mamzer. Now, at first I was gonna go about this title because like I thought this title Mamzer was over and done with. You know what I'm saying? Good brothers of ours already had battled these idiots about these words, like the definition, understanding of Mamzer. I thought we were way over that, but apparently we're not over that. You see what I'm saying, fam? We're not over this. And some of y'all are going to run, and I know you're going to be offended because you love this guy. I don't know why, but you're not paying attention to this man. If he, I'm going to show you. That's thinking like, nah, I don't got hate, man. If he was bringing out, it matter because look, there's like one, I'll tell you this, man. There's one brother that I listen to from GMS, right? Hey, he's trying to, he's pushing Northern Kingdom, man. I forget. I think he says he's a tribal guy. That's what he believes. Hey, you know what I mean? Well, praises, bro. What can I tell you, man? It is what it is. I listen because he seems sincere and he's trying to, bring together the nation. I respect that. You don't got to look like me. I never believed that. So I give ear to certain people. I'm going to tell you this right now. There has not been, I don't think so, not one camp. I don't believe any other than this camp that has lied like this. This guy is lying, family. I mean, oh, man. That's why I'm like, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth, like literally, if you just catch it and all of a sudden people expose themselves, man. All right. Anyway, let me show you. Let me show you. Look, it ain't me, man. I'm just gonna show you the type of personality that these people deal with. I guess these guys knew him, right? This is their experience. So I can't speak on my personal experience for an individual like him. I can't speak on that. I don't know the man that way. But what I'm going to speak on is the teachings. And I'm also going to bring the fact that he has dealt with particular, I don't know, man. This spirit of lying and deceit is very perpetual. In case y'all don't know what that word is, it means perpetual, everlasting, right? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't stop. I don't understand. Listen, look, let them speak. I'm going to let them speak, man. And I'm going to kind of jump ahead because I'm not going to try to show too much of this. I'm not here for cheese mess. That's not my intent. All I'm doing is I'm presenting the case. Like, for example, when you go to court, family, right? You're an attorney, you go to court, you present a case, and then you also actually have to bring a case regarding the individual that you have that you're going like, hey, listen, here's the moral character of this individual. Should we be able to believe what he's saying, Judge? Should we believe what this guy's saying? He has proven to us that he's lying. How? Because he opens up a book, shows one page, but doesn't read the other page. That's called lying. However you want to slice it. If you believe in the Bible, that is lying, black and white. Simple as that. There's no way to get around it. I'm not playing around with this book, fam. This is the Most High is what saved me. No man saved me. Before I came into this walk, I was already looking for the Most High. Look what it says here, all right? Look up Proverbs 6:16 because we're going to go there for a little bit. Let's listen in real quick.
Proverbs chapter 6, and y'all over it, please. Yeah. Proverbs 6, and I'll start it right at verse 16 because that's really what it's about. It says, these 6 things doth the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet that be swift to run into mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren.
Now, these guys are talking about, sowing discord, but this is another point here, fam. Speaking lies. Wicked imaginations, devising wicked imaginations. A proud look. Yeah, we do the. Yeah, why? Because you're reading a book that because your sneaky ass doesn't want to show what you're actually holding in your hand. You don't want to do that? I already caught you twice with 2 books. And the so-called Deacon I thought, Mr. Bookman, you're telling me you're not reading this? or you're closing your big ass eyes. It's hard to close those big ass eyes, my friend. And I actually like you, bro. I just can't believe that you're ignoring. You read and you're ignoring what this man is, what he's not reading to the people, to the public. We have it right here, proof. Remember, we're bringing you to the case, so-called imaginary court, I guess. Listen, Your Honor, this is my proof right here. He's reading this book, and he's lying on this book. He's reading this book, and he's not disclosing that book. He's not disclosing the evidence. Your Honor, Father, whoever we want to slice it, let's go.
And I'll be damned if he ain't all of the above.
Exactly.
Wow.
He is all of the above.
Right.
Because you got to understand, like, the biggest, even though his thing was so in discord, the biggest thing that he did, like, because you have to understand.
And you guys have to understand, he used to be called Elder Gad. So obviously he thought he was what? Northern Kingdom. Apparently. I don't know, fam. Y'all make it up. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know this man like this. I've never dealt with him like that to speak on these topics. So I'm going to let other people speak on what his character is, because we're going to show you what he's actually reading to y'all. At the topic was going to be Mamzer, but I'm like, yeah, I'll touch on it, man, because what a waste of time, to be honest with you, Mamzer. I'd steal on that shit. Are you kidding me? Man, y'all folky-minded people. Come on, bro. Grow up. Come on. Really? Come on, man. Bring another argument. Let's go.
Just to give you an idea of how detestable this man's words were on those last days. Like I said, 12 tribes was a large church. You had New York, Buffalo, Boston, Atlanta, St. Louis, California, England. Bro, we had a council that was broadcast on that last day. I'll tell you like this. In one day, Buffalo, Boston, Atlanta, St. Louis, California, and England broke away from New York in one day. And every single church said the same thing. The instant that man began to speak, they knew they were leaving. And the reason why is because what I told you about those judgments, there were false judgments that were being handed down day in and day out without mercy. That guillotine fell every single day. Somebody was falling under it. And he was the one spearheading the entire thing, putting people out over the stupidest, most wicked, asinine things in all the churches. And on that last day, he sat there, washed his hands of all guilt, absolved himself of all sin, and actually blamed the brothers that were fighting for the people. And that's when we were like, wow.
All right. So that's one particular thing. Let me skip real quick. Watch this real quick. Again, these are people that dealt with him. If you deal with somebody, eventually you expose yourself how you deal with people and how they deal with you, man. That's why we got to be very mindful. Listen, fam, I walk around, man, and I don't walk around with any looking behind my back because I owe people money or because I lied on somebody. I don't have that worry, fam. At least I can say that. I don't owe people money. I never lied on anybody. I never started crap at people. Anything I had, I settled it. I'm a grown man now. And when you're 22 years old, you're not a grown man. So please stop saying stuff like that, young men. Young men, trust me. When you're 22, 25, you're not a grown man. You're still a boy. Honestly. You're still not there. Just thought I'd say that. I heard that earlier. It was stupid. Got a long way to go. And money ain't the way to answer that unless you think that. But anyhow, let's check this out. Here's another way. Let's find out.
Let me go back to the picture. It was headed by these two. Rahab, he was the top man with us, and Yaasha. These were the two senior men at 12 tribes of Israel. There was, under them, they set up, they had a council, and you had a junior council. The junior council consisted of, see this brother right here? His name is Damamah, Northern Kingdom, tribe of Simeon. He's the one that brought up we don't have to keep the commandments anymore.
All right, fam, listen. Notice it had to be important for him to identify Northern Kingdom. See, that's one thing about snakes, man. Eventually they will bite. You know, you so-called Northern Kingdom brothers, man. I know there's stuff going behind closed doors. I know there is. See, there's leakage in your armor. Hey, by the way, IUIC, tell your soldiers to stop calling people when they're drunk. Okay? Do yourself a favor. Help your so-called brothers, man. This guy's been in the truth 10 years and he's still an alcoholic. He's still dealing with alcohol. And I told you guys that he was dealing with alcohol. Apparently, you can't help his ass, can you? You probably don't even remember he called me a few days ago. So much for your hospital.
He's the one that started to bring pork into the school and eat pork and say we don't have to keep God's laws. That
right, now you listen to this, fam. Like, we don't know any of this. All right, this is between them. So I don't know what this is, but when you hear it from, somebody, you're like, okay, well, I guess it is. I mean, how can you say that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're going to be recorded. How can you lie like that? Well, check this out.
That caused a split, and let me go out now. Let me go out. Out of that, you had, this is brief. This is when out of that school, you had myself, Barak Shah, and Kanai that came out of that school. Everybody else went back into the world. After that, that's why I listen real good when brothers talk. I pick up very well who's trying to bring out a doctrine. And my ears are keen on that thing. And what happened at that school is not going to happen here.
Oh, and that last bit of fiction, the one he did, we watched the whole thing. Oh, the history of the Israelite churches? Yes. Brothers had to call me and check to see if I was ready to drive down to New York or wherever he was at and put his lights out after looking at that thing. Bro, that history of the Israelite churches? Oh, my God! That is like a work of fiction up there with Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. None of that happened. Bro, when he put it all on Damama, I'm like, yo, listen. I'm glad the man is not nowhere near where I could get to him because I'll probably be in jail right now. He said that Damama was the elder over the church.
So, fam, you got to wonder, like, okay, so was this guy a liar? I mean, is that what they're saying? There's things, like, I don't go by rumors. Neither should anybody, man. People, you got to follow their actions. Okay, what are you about? Okay, cool. I see. All right. But you see, there's some of us that do read. There are some of us that read, and we do catch things like these. So-called Gad or Nathaniel, whatever you want to call him, this is your king. You have given this individual honor. Look, I'm gonna show you this real quick. And I said it before and I said it again.
They've been lying for so long.
The fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys some tidbits here. Like, I don't want to say tidbits. What can I say? The things that people say, man. Because this is gonna end up biting you in the butt. Like, what are you doing? Are you teaching this? Are you really teaching this? Look, let's just skip all this. All right, listen in.
Coverage for that. But when black people do crime in the hood, it's all on the news. It's all on the news. Who control the news? The Jewish media, like Kanye West said.
There you go. The Jewish. Okay, cool. Sounds good. All right, let's continue.
See what color they are. They are black. What color are the Jews? They are black. If you're black, you are Shemitic. If you're black, you are Shemitic. If you're black, you are Shemitic.
All right, so let's explore this. He said, if you are black, you are Shemitic. So what happened to Ham? Are Ham not black? Oh, what do you mean by black? African American, so-called? See, fam, you can't just walk over this. You can't just ignore this. Look at it. Let's listen in.
You are Semitic. So if you're black, you are Semitic.
Again, if you're black, you are Shemitic. Is that what we're teaching now at this school? Or this right here? Watch this. Watch this.
Give me that in what's that? Acts Romans 8:16. All we out here to, also you gotta remember who we're talking about here. We're talking about the children of the diaspora, the ones that have been scattered throughout the world in slavery.
You see, these guys are pushing back, this lady and this guy over here. They're pushing back like, nah, no, King, nah, those guys Puerto Rican, nah, Mexican. No, they're like not agreeing with the whole tribe chart, right? Check it.
All right, because like you said, the conquistadors are everywhere in a lot of these northern kingdom lands. See what I'm saying? But we're talking about those specifically that have been scattered throughout the world that have a history of slavery, because that's what the Bible is speaking of. When you read Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, 28 verse 1 15 through 68, I should say, it lists the curses that will befall these people. You know what I'm saying? So those are the ones that we're talking about. Because yeah, you even got the white man today calling himself Native American, right? But we're not talking about those, because many of the real Native Americans, they have a lot of the same features that we have.
You hear that? Many of the Native Americans have a lot of the same features that they have. You guys hear this?
Calling himself Native American, right? But we're not talking about those, because many of the real Native Americans, they have a lot of the same features that we have as a people. They got the kinky hair. We're not saying that all of them do, but a lot of them that we don't know about, they actually do have those features and those characteristics. Even when you go to
what come on, family, what's going on now? Huh? What are we doing now? What are we doing? Are we really, I mean, do you really have to stretch the tribe chart that far? Man, you're getting too thin. You're not even making any sense. So they look like you because they have kinky hair, and then they don't, not all of them. But then you say, oh, well, the white man says that they're $5 Indian. Okay, cool. But you do know that there are light-skinned black people. I mean, for God's sakes, man, you guys been mixing with the white man for the last 1,300 years. Let's not forget that, family. Since 700 AD. This is something that they preach and are proud of. They conquered the white man. Yeah, well, you enslaved their women. It's very known. That white woman's kryptonite to y'all. Miscegenation is not a new word. It's been around since y'all came here. What I'm trying to point out is the fruit don't fall far from the tree, fam. Look at this. So Al, I'm telling you, family, what is it? What are we coming to? I mean, look, when they go out and teach in these streets, right? They say, yeah, we the Jews, we the Jews. Why don't you guys tell them, listen, we're just saying that we're gonna turn into black flying saucers, and we're gonna rule the world. Just say it like that. And just say you hate everybody, man. You need the Bible to tell everybody you hate them. Because I mean, you still got people over there that are drunk, calling people like late at night, not knowing whether you're still in the truth. It's been like a year. It's been a year now, bro. And you barely found out? Well, you're that drunk. You see, alcohol is progressive, family. I'm not making fun of people. I understand that. But how can you help? Can't help. How can you help? Watch this real quick. So now we're going to collect particular words that this man has been saying. And I don't know why you guys ignore it. You guys are ignoring it.
Something's wrong here.
One day, he just puts it in your face. Let's go.
Something is wrong. The truth must come out.
Bishop.
It's not about us worshiping ourselves. You understand what I said? It's not. We're not worshiping ourselves because we have light-skinned brothers.
Here it goes right here.
Light-skinned sisters. And then when I say light-skinned, those who are mulattoes, light-skinned sisters. And then when I say light-skinned, those who are mulattoes.
Bishop.
It's not about you have light earth that can prove it. Those who are mulattoes have light-skinned brothers, light-skinned sisters. And then when I say light-skinned, those who are mulattoes.
Mulattoes, fam. So now you guys are mulattoes. Is that what that's that what Northern Kingdom is now? Mulattoes? Again, Matthew 12. That the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. Connect real quick again.
It's not about.
I mean, come on, man. Look, then he says this.
Light-skinned sisters. And then when I say light-skinned, those who are mulattoes, it's not about that. It's about the seed of Israel.
So I ask you, family, are y'all mulattoes? Is this what it comes down to now? And I mean, and the funny part is that you guys have no idea where that word mulatto comes from. I'm going to show you where the word mulatto comes from. For you Spanish speakers, you should know this by now. You should know this by now. So we're going to collect this word. He says mulattoes. I mean, so far, let's see, what else has he called us? Hold on a second. I mean, I don't know, man. I ain't taking count, but enough is enough. I mean, are you another kid? So, hey, wait. Maybe that's why they enjoy calling you guys silly dogs. Because, you know, what that means is you're dumb. I mean, is that what it's coming down to? That. Is it this one?
I'm going to the Renaissance.
No, it ain't this one. I don't think it's that one either. So far we got Mamzer, okay? We're going to write down Mamzer here real quick. Mamzer. I mean Mamzer, mulatto. Sorry, mulatto, Mamzer. That's the right. Oh, we got mulatto. Let's see. Let me see if I miss anything.
From the church, there's no answer from Christianity. All we got is slave.
Bishop.
It's not about
Bishop.
worshiping ourselves. You understand what I said? It's not. We're not worshiping ourselves because we have light-skinned brothers, light-skinned sisters. And then when I say light-skinned, those who are mulattoes, it's not about that. It's about the seed of Israel.
All right. So you Mexicanos, you Puerto Ricanos, you Cubans, all of you so-called Northern Kingdom that is in the school, you have a new name now. You are mulattoes, okay? So stop calling yourselves Hispanics. Don't do that no more. So in the Northern Kingdom is not so-called Hispanics anymore. The so-called mulatto Northern Kingdom of IUIC. All right? Mulatto. Let's look it up, man. Matter of fact, I'm going to look it up right now. I got something to show y'all. Is it here? Because what I did is I downloaded some pictures of definitions. Let me see if it's in here. You know what? Let me not skip it. Because look, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to talk about these topics here. Okay. So what I did is I went ahead and I got these books, fam. It's just from Bible Dictionary. This is a PDF file I have, okay? And in it, I found out some definitions. Okay. So I also have here, right here. In this book, I found bastard. We're going to go over that word. Okay. The definition of bastard. And we have also the Zondervan Pictorial Dictionary Bible. Definition of bastard in there as well. Words and phrases revised. Words and revised and phrase expanded edition origins. Going to look into that. Bible Encyclopedia Condensed. This is an excellent book to have, fam. I was blessed to find it. All praises to the Most High. Just basic, basic information. So I'm going to show y'all something real quick, fam. Okay. The meaning of mulatto. Watch. A person of mixed white and black ancestry, especially a person with one white and one black parent. Okay. That supposedly is a mulatto. It's offensive, supposedly, a racial classification to refer to people of mixed African and European ancestry. So you guys are mulattoes, huh? Okay. A mulatto, mulata, a female mulatto. What is the root word of mulatto? The English term and spelling mulatto is derived from the Spanish Portuguese mulatto. It is a common term in southern United States during the era of slavery. Some sources suggest that it may derive from the Portuguese word mula. No, not some. It is, dummy. Latin mulus, meaning mule, the hybrid offspring of a horse and a donkey. So now, this, I'm going to call you a Canaanite. This Canaanite is calling you guys donkeys. A horse, a mula. You're a mula. Okay? So, I find it so interesting, family, that this word bastard from the book, which one is this one? Oh, the words and phrases. This is from the words and phrases, okay? It says, prevent call mule driver on the road. In the Middle Ages, use pack saddles called bast for beds whenever they checked in an inn or outstretched out under a tree. A top, his bast from the Latin bastum, pack saddle. The typical muleteer must have fathered many an illegitimate child for the expression of fildebast, son of the pack saddle. A child begotten on a pack saddle bed, as opposed to a marriage bed, became an epithet for a natural child on the basis of Old French word bastard. Many other attempts have been made to explain the word, even a happy one tracing it to the Old English word best-steered, the best disposition. But pack saddle child is clearly right. You guys can continue to read this. Born on the wrong side of the blanker. It's a euphemism for bastard, indicating puberty at a word implying the sex in marriage should be performed in the dark undercover. Two things here I want to cover, family. This word bastard is fairly new. Okay. So for you idiots that are using the definition of bastard to say that that's what Mamzer means, it's pretty dumb. But what I also want to bring out is look at what the relationship between bastard and mule. So now you're a mula, you're a bastard. So he is basically a driver. I don't understand, fam. You see, words have meanings, family. Everything matters. Everything matters. Here it goes right here. This is from the Bible Encyclopedia Condensed. Bastard, not applied to one born out of wedlock, but to issue within the prohibited degrees. Deuteronomy 23:2. We'll talk about that. Okay. Let's go to bastard here. Bastard, Mamzer, notos, bastard, specifically child of incest. We'll touch on that in a little bit. Appears only 3 times in scripture. Twice in the Old Testament, once in the New Testament. In Deuteronomy 23:2, it probably means a child of incest, not simply an illegitimate child. There it says that a bastard and his descendants to the 10th generation are excluded from the assembly of the Lord. Now, remember, bastard is a new word, fam. It's not old. It's 200 or 300 years old. Look it up. I mean, look how it's been translated. There's a root word for it, and it has several definitions. Jephthah, the son of a strange woman, was called to be judge of Israel. Yep. So now, listen to this, family, because we're going to touch on this. Zechariah 9:6. We read, as a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. And I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. I wonder who or what bastard is dwelling in Ashdod. A bastard race. Brown Driver and Briggs suggest this means a mixed population. So they say. But we know that it's not. But anyways, let's continue because we'll touch on that. Bastard here from the book Bible Dictionary. It says, Deuteronomy 3:23-2 forbids forever the entrance of a bastard in the congregation, an example from intermarrying with pure Hebrews. But since concubines were tolerated, the term evidently does not apply to one born out of wedlock or mixed, because it's a concubine. The rabbins, therefore, are probably right when they interpret the word as denoting only those born of incest, or adultery. But we see that consistently we had laws regarding concubines. By the Jewish law, a lawful wife of a secondary or inferior rank, and consequently neither regarded nor treated as the matron or mistress of the house. You see, there were laws on how we dealt with these people, family. Now, not everybody, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I'm just touching on definitions of mulatto, bastard. Now, since we mentioned Mamzer, because that's the word that, the topic is. All right, let's look it up. We're going to go to this Jewish virtual library, and type in the word Mamzer. Mamzer. There we go. It reads, if she cannot contact a legally valid marriage to this man, she cannot contradict legal marriage. Her offspring or former is a mamzer. Such is the case when a man has sexual relations with any of the ervat, forbidden incest. See that? Forbidden, incest. In the Torah. Again, it suggests this. Thus, a mamzer is the issue of a couple whose sexual relationship is forbidden according to the Torah and punishable by death. Because of this marriage between this is void. I don't know. This is some of that stuff that they study. Like that's Talmud crap. And thus, for example, the issue of a union between brother or sister and sister, or between a man and a woman validly married to another at the time, is a mamzer. Mamzer shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. A marriage between a mamzer, male or female, and a legitimate Jew or Jewess is prohibited. If such a marriage is nevertheless contracted, legally valid, but must be resolved by divorce. And then he goes into two Mamzers, blah, blah, blah. Guys can continue reading this. But we'll be touching on that. There's no rush. Let's go here. Now we're going to go here. Mamzer. See what it says. Lexicon, right? Mamzeri, from an unused root meaning to alienate, a mongrel. That's pretty heavy term right there. Born of a Jewish father and a heathen mother. Damn, bastard. See, but again, the definition is very young. So we can't go by that. Right? I mean, unless that's all you need. And then now you have a narrative. You got to stick to facts. This is from the 1828, I believe, Webster's Dictionary. a natural child, a child begotten, or born out of wedlock. This is what we understand as bastards. An illegitimate or spurious child. By the civil and canon laws, a bastard becomes a legitimate child by the intermarriage of the parents, or any future time by the laws of this country. Well, you guys understand the meaning of bastard here, okay? You guys see it. When a man has begotten bastard son and is afterwards marries a mother and has a legitimate son, called mulir. Oh man, I don't even want to translate that word. I can already imagine where it's leading to. So now let's go to it. There we go. Let me close this up. Actually, you know what? Let's go here. I don't want to read that one. Let's read it since we're on it right now. Let's read it. Deuteronomy. Okay, because we understand now mule, mulatto, bastard, mamzer, mixed breed, mixed whatever. At the end of the day, man, they're all using it for in a derogatory way, family. I don't care how you slice it. That's how they're using it. So it says here, Deuteronomy 28:1, it says, he that is, Deuteronomy 23. He that is wounded in the stones and have his privy members cut off shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord, obviously because they're considered unclean. Remember, the lamb has to be perfect. A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Even to his 10th generation shall he not enter into the congregation of the Lord. So that's the argument, right? A bastard. And it says, an Ammonite or a Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord, even to their 10th generation. So here it repeats 10th generation. Shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Now, so far so good. We've found out about incest. I find it very interesting that it's literally the following verse. An Ammonite or a Moabite shall not enter for the 10th generation. So I've never understood, I thought Moabites and Ammonites were the sons of Lot. And they're children of incest. Remember? Now, remember, family, also there was a Zechariah 9:6. Zechariah 9:6 says, and a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. We know them. So a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. Okay. And then Deuteronomy 23:3 says, an Ammonite and a Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Because it says in verse 2, a bastard, because that's who they're considering. So he called these guys bastards, and he called the Ashdod a bastard too? Or are you guys going to ignore that? Shalom, family. Shalom. Shalom, man. Yep. I read that. I'm reading it. My bad, Mexican. Oh, I got your message, bro. Sorry, I'll get back to you. Appreciate that, though. There's a lot of work. A lot of work to be done, family. Anyhow, again, an Edomite or a Moabite should not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Hey, shalom, native warrior of Israel. That's right, man. Shalom, brother. Even to their 10th generation. So here we see a Moabite and an Ammonite being mentioned, right? And then obviously there's a reference of bastard. Now you guys are probably like, well, where are you going with this? Where are you going with this? Yeah. Man, just slow down, man. Y'all need to really, really slow down. Watch this. Nehemiah 13:24 says, 23. In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and of Moab. Wait a minute. And their children spake half the speech of Ashdod. and could not speak in the Jews' language, but according to the language of each people. So I contended with them and cursed them, and smote certain of them, and plucked off their hair, and made them swear by God, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for yourselves. Then it says, did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things? So the issue is the sin. But here we also see that it's identifying bastard number 1, bastard number 2, and bastard number 3. And who is Ashdod, family? Who is Ashdod, you ask? Well, let's find out who Ashdod is, because I was curious about this. I'm like, Ashdod, man, why would he call them bastards? What they do to you? I'm just kidding. Watch this. Ashdod, here we go. In the late Canaanite period, it served an important harbor city, as it's shown by the archaeological finds in reference to its maritime trade in the archives of Ugarit. According to the biblical tradition, it was a town of ancient Anakim, giants, Joshua, all praises, after this conquest by the Philistines. So here we see is what? Dedicated to the god Dagon at Ashdod. You guys can pull that up right there. Y'all can see that for yourselves. Ashdod. Look at this. Ashdod was the Philistine capital in the post-exilic period. So in the days of Nehemiah, an Ashdod was synonymous with a Philistine. Nehemiah fought against Ashdod influence, which extended as far as Jerusalem, family. So who exactly are the Mamzers? If you really want to ask, who are the Mamzers? Now you're like, well, okay, fine. It was that they talked about it, man. You know what I mean? That's old stuff. No. Remember, I asked y'all to walk with me, man, because you know what? We got to find out. We've been called mulattoes, mamzers, bastards, mixed race, wetbacks, spics. What else? How much? Oh, silly doves. How much more do you so-called mulattoes? How much more are y'all gonna deal with? How many names is it gonna take for y'all to handle? When are you gonna actually say something to this dude? Well, you want more? I'll show you more. Look at this. At first, I was like, man, I'm not trying to defend this dude, because this guy himself, this kid he's talking about, right? But then he caught my attention when he started saying Mamzer. That's when he caught my attention, because I thought we went over this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been a while, man. Like, I know the so-called Phopis, the confused Canaanites. I know they probably still use that terminology. To be honest with you, man. Yeah, Mamzer. I thought this was over, bro. Like, is there anything else? Oh, the Trail of Tears. Natives had slaves. I could show you tons of material that show that you Negroes had slaves as well. But it hurts. Anyways, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to dissect every little thing that this guy is doing too at the same time as he's speaking, okay? So now watch this. One thing that this guy does, and that's what he is. Look, listen, witch, snake, I don't know, whatever you call it, all right? So he gives so-called names and titles. Brazil and the Peruleiros. As a result of the Spanish expulsion in 1492, King John II of Portugal permitted approximately 100 Spanish Jews to enter his kingdom upon the payment of 8 cruzados for each adult. Okay? Supposedly. All right? So now, remember, look at this, fam. Remember what they're pushing. They say they ruled Europe. They say they ruled Europe. Look. This. Okay? That's what he's saying. That all of them are black people. They don't look black, but he says they're black. right? Just because they look like they use brown color on it. Watch this.
Black. And his mother, Helen, or Helene, were black.
What about the cross? Are we gonna ignore the cross? Are we gonna ignore the cross? Because I'm not gonna ignore the cross. What is it? Deuteronomy what? Deuteronomy 28:64 says, "And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto another, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone." Wait a minute. If you're black pushing Christianity, so then you knew Christianity before you came, right? Make it make sense. You said you ruled Europe, so then that means you had the cross prior to the white man. And there thou shalt serve other gods. So you're not serving other gods because you were serving the cross prior to the white man, reconquering your ass, which neither now nor thy fathers have known. And you can't say, well, then we got enslaved. Well, but it says your fathers didn't know them either. So it says you never met the white man. Here, right here, this verse completely decimates your stupidity, because it says here, you should have never met the white man, nor his God. So are we just going to cut half of the 64? Oh, but we got scattered everywhere. No, you didn't. Because you said it yourself. You came out of Africa, you went to Europe, and then you came over here. How do you get scattered if you already did it yourself? You can't get scattered if you're the one that scattered yourselves. I don't know why it's so difficult for some so-called African Americans to embrace their African heritage, family. For God's not family, but for God's sakes, man, be proud of who you are. The scriptures don't lie. You cannot fake the funk, because eventually you'll get caught. And here's how we're going to catch this guy. Watch. I'm going to show you. All right. So he's saying all of this here. Oh, but the cross. Oh, but the cross. Oh, yeah. Let's go.
A black man. He's
sensual music. Oh, yeah.
boom. Like somebody black.
Yeah, sure. Come on. There he goes, right here.
Look at his back.
Where's that?
Beard. Look at him.
That looks like a Bible, fam. Don't that look like the Bible? That looks like the Bible to me. Don't that look like the cross? That looks like a cross to me.
Look at his hands.
Now, let's be honest, family. This guy does not look like a so-called African American, dude. Look at his nose. It's long, pointy. Look at his mouth. Look at his ears. They're huge. What are you talking about? Oh, but he's black. Cause it's brown? Bro, you can't make this stuff up. Okay, so let's skip all this BS, man. He's gonna start showing. Here it goes right here. Here it goes right there. Let's see.
See the
priest. See the priest. Yeah, see the priest. Yeah, you see the priest. Okay, yeah, see the priest. Okay, cool. We're good, man. We're good. Okay, well, look. Bam, this guy looks like a so-called African American. You can't make this stuff up, fam. Look at this. All right, so enough of that. All right, so then he goes off and he brings this book up.
Of the Spanish expulsion in 14, who had not paid the entry fee.
So here he says, during the 8th month period, many Jews who had not paid the entry fee or who were illegal immigrants were caught and sold as slaves. Many young children, especially those parents who've been sold as slaves, deported to Saint Tomé. Then a recent Portuguese discovery of the coast of Africa. Most of the children were between the 10 years old and age. In Saint Tomé, they were reared as Catholics. They bereaved parents, prostrated them as the feet of the king, whatever this and that.
People who were illegal immigrants, especially between 3 and 10.
All right, so he reads this, but he doesn't show the book. Okay, so watch this. Watch this. I'm gonna show you this right now. So what I do is, see, I read. So I try to read, right? I try to read. Let's see what we got. This right here. I believe this is it. And this is from the book. This is from this book, family. So I'm going to show you this. Look, this snake here, Nate the Snake, he's reading out of this book. See, The Lost Tribes, a Myth. Suggestions towards rewriting Hebrew history by Alan Goodby, PhD, professor of Old Testament in Duke University. Prolongamentum, prolongamentum, I cannot pronounce it, my apologies. Second language as English. By Morris Epstein. Now we know that last name, okay? So it's endorsed by who? The Jewish community, okay? The one that this guy is so adamant about. They're the enemy. Okay. Let me show you something. Hold up. I got you.
Attention, choppers! Today's special is civil unrest. Let me tell you something!
Stick around, Orlando. We may agree. I'm not really going to read your stuff just now, man. Just wait and see. All right, we're going to go to page 52, 252, fam. Hold on. Maybe. No. We're going to go back to 246 of this book. It's a huge book. I would highly recommend for y'all to get it. Let's read. Right about right here. It goes. We're going to read a little bit, all right? And I'm going to drink some water in a little bit because my throat's getting dry. These facts have a peculiar significance when the presence of Judaism among the American Negroes is to be considered. Hundreds of thousands of slaves were brought to America from this Western African during the days of traffic, beginning in the early 400 years ago. How much more of Judaism survived amongst the West African Negroes in that earlier time? As persecuted communities, they were rather more in danger than other Negroes of being raided by war parties and sold as slaves. It may be considered certain that many partially Judaized Negroes were among the slaves brought to America. How many of them might still hold some Jewish customs in their new home is another question. Now it says, then the introduction of Judaism from Europe into the coastal regions in a very modern time is to be considered. Of this fact, there are satisfactory records. On the Cabinda coast of Portugal, West Africa, is an interesting group of Negro Jews known as Mavumba. They are skillful smiths and potters and consequently prosper. Ratzo considers them connected with a colony of Jews expelled from Portugal and settled on San Tome Islands. The Portuguese discovered San Tome in 1471. Okay, pay attention. Finding it very unhealthy, King John II of Portugal in 1484 offered the Jews of his dominion the pleasant alternative of submitting to baptism or settling at San Tome. Okay, remember, the finding in very unhealthy, King John II of Portugal in 1484 offered the Jews of his dominion the pleasant alternative of submitting to baptism or settling in San Tome. Great numbers were sent out. Men were married to women brought by the Portuguese from the Angola coast. The Portuguese are affirmed to have carefully persuaded this mixed race. But Reed, revisiting the island of San Tome 70 years ago, observed no trace of Semitic physical characteristics among the island's population. He did not consider the fact that the Jews who married the blacks might not have been what he called Semites. So here we see that this island that this guy's pushing was actually by the Portuguese. And apparently they sent some Jews there. But these Jews were not black because apparently he did not consider the fact that the Jews who married the blacks might have been what he called Semites. So these Jews married black people. So these men were sent there. And this Portuguese guy sent black people over there, right? That's what it seems like. Not that he visited the mainland colony, nor did he visit the mainland colony. Bastian studied these Negroes known as Judeos by the Portuguese and thought to be found some trace of so-called Semitic blood, so-called. They are grazed and reserved and compared with other Negroes and wealthy, having most of the trade in their hands. Wealthy, huh? But the perplexity of the ethnologists is due to their omission of one outstanding feature of the ancient Oriental religious society. Let's continue. Let's see. Let's see. It is that any. Okay, here goes. In which Judaism clung to till modern times. That is, that any slave might gain his freedom by accepting the religion of his owner. This fact requires a special chapter later. For the present case, from the beginning of San Tomé, Jewish colony, there should have been Negro Jews who had no white blood, just as there were persons of mixed blood who had no Judaism. In seeking for traces of white blood as evidence of Jewish ancestry, the earlier ethnologists were astray on the outset. Fortunately, the historic records bearing upon the case are ample and clear. There's no confusion in this family. Okay? It says, moreover, we forbid that any Jew should dare to make slave turn Jew, although the slave be a Moor, or any other barbarous people. But should it be done, the slave who has been made a Jew or Jewish shall become free and withdrawn from the owner. That would entice anybody to take up a religion, don't you think? They want to be free, right? It says here, Moors or the other. Lindo's translation more accurately says Moors and other people of the Barbary lands. This prohibition was to, hold on, let me see if I can skip this. Okay, so we have succinctly before us the fact that Judaism was steadily spreading itself by proselyting any African slave that it could. The Spanish and Portuguese Christians, clergy, felt themselves handicapped in competition. The next, the activity of the Inquisition of the Canary Islands brings the same Jewish custom before us, 200 to 350 years later. In these words, we find some Negro slaves testifying that they were required to follow Jewish procedure in domestic matters, some that they were present to Fez in Morocco for formal introductions of Judaism. Page 90. Sometimes we hear of the intermarriage of Jews and Christians, and of the trial of Jews who are not pure of blood, or the charge is made that a black slave had been terrified into adopting Jewish customs. Hold on, is that page 48? Where's page 48? Where's page 48? Why did I skip page 48? Give me a second, family. One Jewish Guinea Negro, 100 years died, examination. There's an abundance of historic Judaism in the West Indies. Some opinion. Oh, I don't know why I skipped this. Let's see. Give me a second, family. Let's talk about white Jewish people and Negro about 15 times the numerous as the whites. Let me see if I can find something important here, because I don't really want to read all of this. I think this is the point here, family. The point I'm talking about is the Tommy, right? Let me take a picture of it and I'll post it. Y'all can read it later. Oops, sorry. Damn it. My phone. Man, this thing's going to break. Anyhow, y'all can read it later. I'm not going to hide it from you guys. Just letting you know. But it's just explaining particular things here, family. Hold on a second. Let me post it up here. Y'all can have it. So you know I don't lie. I got nothing to hide. Nor should anybody. You know what I'm saying? Some people will. Some people will, fam. Is it right here? Y'all can go ahead and you got the video. You can pause it, take a picture of it. That's page 248. Okay. So let me go with page 249. Page 249, it says here, now we return to the Negro Jew of Langoa Coast and their possible derivation from the Negro Judaism of the Portuguese Jewish colony of San Tomé. That colony was planted by King John in 1484. and supplied with Negro women from the Langoa coast. But another important fact is to be added. Gonzalo Perez reports that in 1492, the governor Alvarado de Camina took with him to San Tome 2,000 Negro children of 7 years age and under, whom the king had allowed Castilian Jews to carry off. This shows us Castilian Jews as a few years before the establishment of the Inquisition of the Canaries, engaged in the slave trade and aiding their refuse Coriolanist from Portugal. But with initial facts before us, we recognize that a considerable free Negro Judaism was certain to develop at San Tome, and that mercantile colonies of these free Jewish Negroes were certain to spread to the adjacent coast. It is besides the mark to scrutinize each colony for traces of white blood. The name appears at various books as Mavambo. I had read that earlier for y'all. Let's see here real quick. County 6 Miles is talking about them. Watch this, page 252. Where are you at? But the most striking survival of Judaism among the Hausa and Noops is a powerful Levitical institution. Let's see, where are you at? I can read that if you want. I'm trying to read this. Mental principle, this means that the white and mixed children generation not survive. Livingston considered in the product of missionary station, Jewish and Catholics. Similarly, Negroes existed in let me read this to you. Similarly, Negro Jews once existed in Jamaica and Suriname as a result of extensive concubinage of Spanish and Portuguese Jews with Negroes. You guys are listening to this? Similarly, Negro Jews once existed in Jamaica and Suriname as a result of extensive concubinage of Spanish and Portuguese Jews with Negroes. A very large portion bear Jewish names, but have generally lapsed from Judaism. A similar community sprang into existence in Suriname 150 years ago. The English and Portuguese Jews intermarrying with the blacks and a mongrel language, Jo Tonga, Jews language, arising from the mixture of three languages. A Negro English dialect, a Negro Portuguese dialect with Hebrew words sprang up. The two later merged. These Suriname Negro Jews, having a dialect of their own, have not lapsed so generally as those of Jamaica. Negro Judaism in America is of particular value to the historical student as illustrating what has gone in every century, where bigotry and persecution did not prevent. And it illustrates the varied reaction that have always appeared either in ancient Yahwism or later Judaism towards all proselytes and propagandisms. Since claims of some African Jewish ancestry appears, there's additional interest. It would seem as the establishment of such claims by the individual would turn upon the ability to establish their genealogical connection. Judaism has always had an element that made orthodoxy a matter of accepted genealogy. All right, now here's the main point right here, family. No, not that one. Is it this one? Well, this guy here. All right, Mr. Meyer Shapiro Brooklyn. Having had his attention called a Negro Jews insisting upon kosher meat, took with him a reporter to New York. Let's see. You guys, it's talking about these guys. Okay, here it goes. The party visited the synagogue or church of the commandment keepers, the holy church of the living God, the pillar and the ground of the truth. The Hebrew alphabet and the shield of David was a Hebrew inscription were on one wall of the assembly room. The Negro head, Bishop Matthews, was holding classes during the week to teach Hebrew. Mr. Shapiro reports that this congregation mixes Christian and Jewish tenets, even as Yahwism of ancients. Palestine was mixed with much that was peculiarly Arabian. They accept Jesus, They accept Jesus, some counting him as prophet like Moses, some counting him divine. against the white man's pretensions. They assert that they are the pure original Israelites of the tribe of Judah, and that all white Jews represent the lost 10 tribes. You hear that, fam? And that all white Jews represent the lost 10 tribes. That's what Matthew was teaching. This is that whole one West crap. So he thought that whites were 10 tribes. I found a book on that topic too. Some of the companies claim Abyssinian Christian origin, consequently share the legacy descendants from Solomon, the Queen of Sheba, blah, blah, blah. Bishop Matthew's Hebrew had a strong Arabic accent, which harmonized with his own claim of descendant from the black Jews of Nigeria. The congregation observed the Jewish kosher, matzos regulation, and the Jewish Sabbath, and some send their children to Jewish schools. Other Negro congregations, Bani Ben Abraham presided over Rabbi Joshua Ford. That's another guy. And Ben Zion. You guys can read this. Here's the point. Here's the point, fam. Where are you? Other groups in Harlem, colored Jews. Let's see. Falasha. Let me read this. The other groups, the Orthodox Negro Jew, as they style themselves, are not so strict and are glad to have themselves photographed. Dr. Fisberg visited the rabbi of only one congregation, the Orthodox Ben Zion, which has only a few members, and in his opinion, that while among these Harlem-colored Jews, there are some of whose ancestors were really Abyssinians, Falashas, etc. The majority of them are, as he expressed it, fakers. That is, they are real American Negroes. Damn, man, that's what they call y'all. Who make believe that they profess Judaism in order to be able to collect money from white Jews. Woof! Especially some of their leaders, their so-called rabbis, are of this type. To their congregation, he believes Judaism is simply an interesting novelty. But some of the white Jew synagogues take them seriously and give them encouragement and substantial aid. I believe it still happens, fam. It is my personal belief that some of these Negroes are really sincere, especially the middle-aged and elderly women among them, which constitute the majority of these members. I know one Negro woman who keeps up a strict kosher home and sends her son to a Hebrew Talmud Torah evening school among the white Jew children for the last 8 years. Generally speaking, my impression is that while Negroes are a race inclined to be religious, they are not particularly, however, as to the nature of the religion of their worship. You will find among them in Harlem also Mohammedans and Buddhists. They go where they are led, man, oh man. Ain't that the truth? These Negro germs in Harlem began to be conspicuous about 8 years ago, meaning like it's about them. And above mentioned Ben Zion, congregation was the first to form. Their Rabbi Mordecai, a former sailor who traveled all over the world, speaks fluent Yiddish, was a founder. Hold on a second, fam. Here's it right here. What do we got? Oh, no, I think I read that. Page 54. Page 255. Let's see. Nearly all memberships were originally from the West Coast. Let's see. Let's read this. His congregation was organized November 18, 1918. There was a few in his congregation who came direct from Abyssinia. None of these were Falashas. They were Abyssinian Christians, but of Hebrew parentage. Reference 106. Nearly all the members were originally from the west coast of Africa. That is, their ancestors were. Bishop Matthews claims that one or two groups of his peculiar organization are among the sectaries of Abyssinia, and that there are other Negro synagogues in America whose organizations and posts came from Abyssinia, but he does not specify them. He has gained many American Negro members. As for himself, he says that his grandfather was one of the black Jews of Nigeria and was carried to St. Christopher's of West Indies. There, Bishop Matthews' father and himself were born. He came in American 60. Y'all can read that. Let's see what else. I'm trying to get to the point, fam. Excuse my, taking forever. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Many friends were not fake or blind is real Hebrew, whether they know it or not. We are not erased, do not know who we are, etc. That's discrimination, yada, yada, yada. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Here it is, fam. Watch this. Page 256. Dr. Mayor Shapiro, in a second letter, informed me that he knows of the above Mount Clair congregation of Negro Jews. There is another in Newark, New Jersey, and several in other American cities, where there is a considerable Negro population. Some are of the commandment keepers type, mingling Judaism with Christianity, and some of the Beth Zion division, holding to Orthodox Judaism. These respective leaders are, after the fashion of the Jewish Shalkak, however you say it, some Jiddish stuff, travel from one branch to another to strengthen the brethren, and incidentally to collect $1 per member as weekly dues. Their spiritual work consists chiefly in eating their flock, in feeding their flock, and teaching their flock very little Hebrew, and saying with them some ritual prayers, and urging ceremonial observance and stated festivals. But this raises again the issue. Was not that about all the Judaism that much of North Africa ever had? Damn. Some young Jewish Negroes in Harlem, employed among the Jews, do not belong to either of the above proselyte movement. Being pleased with their Jewish employer, they have chosen to take on their religion, have learned Jewish prayer, and go daily to the synagogue schools of their white Jewish friends. In considering the spread of Judaism by the institution of slavery, this present tendency should be remembered. That it happens, fam. These cases of proselyting among American Negroes are submitted without criticism. Wow. That should tell you enough. Now, why am I reading all this? Well, what's the point of me getting to this point? I'm going to show you this right now. Okay. This guy said that he teaches truth. So we just found out about St. Tommy right here. Okay. This was supplanted by Jews with mixture of black women, Negro women. And he says here, this is from the New World Jewry. Here he reads this and says, "Oh yeah, you need to determine who's the white Jews and who's the black Jew." What does it say? Because trading and serving as merchants include owning warehouses with inventories to outfit the largest sailing vessels and to make ship repairs. The Jews were the largest ship chandlers the entire Caribbean region, where the shipping business was mainly a Jewish enterprise, right? You would think that they're white Jews. They're white Jews, right? They're white Jews. How can they not be? Okay, well, check this out. This is from a book called Maya Conquistadors. Okay? Maya Conquistadors, fam. And in this book, watch what it says. Page 160. It reads. Y'all can read the whole page. Page 160. This is actual, writings from the Mayas themselves, coming from them, from what they're saying. It says here, because it is truly necessary that they come into our district, for it happened that since the arrival of the bishop whom you sent, named Fray Francisco Torrell, he brought and distributed black padres. They are falsely named clergymen. Okay? You guys can read this whole page. He appointed them he then appointed them to take care of the kahab, the communities within our district, that they might speak the word of Dios to us, of God. Okay? So these guys are like, well, we were hoping that that's what they would be doing. These black padres, right? So-called Israelites. It says here, now too are these clergymen seen. Their doctrine has the same meaning as that of the Francis Padre, yet we are not insulting them, for they do not love us, nor are we in their hearts. Furthermore, we are not accustomed to being among them. We have spoken to them only a few times to see this or say that. Neither do they know our language here, nor do we know their Castilian language, nor do they really devote themselves to us. although we need them. Thus, we do engage them in vain. So we now are inquiring inquiring and understanding of the way of these black padres. Who are these black padres? And why is our people having problems with them if they're supposedly Israelites? It reads, but these oppressive clergymen get really angry at us while forcing us to work in their homes. The black padres, okay, are forcing our native brothers to work in their homes like slaves. It says here, for those black men have their own homes and servants and their own horses and rabbits. Furthermore, as they have settled in our Kahab community, we are providing them with food and household goods. They have neither paid a thing, nor do they ask them. My God. Does that sound familiar or what, fam? Oh, I'm sorry. What was that again? What was that again? What's that word? Reparations? My ass. It says, for they are ashamed of us and afraid of us too, although they are the guardians and are given the responsibility, are asked to go to each. And they are not, and as they are not paid by the bishop, by the bishop's ka, the burden of it is given to us. But there's no salary. So now we give them much food, and they do not pay us. Now we pay them well and fully. This is the very reason why there's a discord with the bishop. There is here in the Providence, and the discord with all black padres. Black padres. I'm not defending the white Jews, Orlando. I don't know why you're posting that, bro. I'm not even to my point. Slow down, bro. Listen to this. Page 163. It should not be the black-clothed padres. They really take money. They really ask for a great deal of money. They drive us mad over money. Therefore, these words we say to you, they are not lies, for this is really the truth. We will now prove it, for there are many black padres, 21. They came with the Spaniards, and not one of them knew our language here. Only one of them did, but that padre who entered did not teach, for at that time there were no elders, really just boys, you perverts. They traded in their other kahab. They traded in other kahab, other communities. Moreover, they wished to say little, and the black padres, those black ones, they hated us. You hear that? For all these reasons, he truly understands that one Franciscan padre is better than many black padres. Are we not running into the same crap now? Now, why am I bringing this up, fam? I'm going to show you why I'm bringing this up, man. You guys think I'm just wasting time here. Like, nah, bro. Not at all. This guy here, right? Listen, the class was because he started calling this dude. Calling this dude a Mamzer right here. Watch this guy. Watch this. He calls him a Mamzer. A mix whatever.
Vert their minds.
You may be familiar with the Igbo of Nigeria or the Beta Israel of Ethiopia. But did you know that there were enough Jews in the West African Songhai Empire for the king to issue an edict of expulsion in 1492?
Wow. So what happened to those black Jews that were expelled from the Songhai Empire? They all went into slavery. How come it's only now that the Israelites are teaching? Now you bring out this profound history that there were black Jews throughout Africa. Wow. Only now you bring that out? You bunch of demons, you.
So we shouldn't dismiss the possibility that at least some Africans held Jewish or Israelite identities well before their enslavement in the Americas.
See how they play word games? It's not Jewish or Israelite. It's the house of Judah and the house of Israel when you read Jeremiah 3:18.
For the most part, early Hebrew Israelite communities got along with mainstream Ashkenazi and Sephardi Jews. But there's always got to be one maniac. A maniac is Arabic/Hebrew slang for a jerk. In the 1880s, that maniac was one Frank S. Cherry, a self-proclaimed prophet and founder of one of the earliest Hebrew Israelite communities, the Church of the Living God, the pillar ground of truth.
We read that in that book.
Truth for all nations. Unlike other Hebrew Israelite congregations, Cherry believed that black Americans were the only real Israelites, which made non-black Jews usurpers of their identity and heritage. Cherry's Shabbat services often involved long sermons about the evils of the Jews who would get what was coming to them in the year 2000 when Jesus would return to start a race war.
And by the way, fam, the One West was teaching this to the year 2000, everything was going to end. Don't forget Nate the Snake Roberts. Come on, my friend. Come on, don't start lying now. Come on, man. Call this guy Mamzer. You called him a Mamzer. Come on, let's get to it. There he goes right here.
Neither did most Hebrew Israelites. In fact, some of the founders of later Hebrew Israelite congregations were mixed-race Jews of color.
Oh my God, this guy can't stop lying. Most congregations were mixed-race Jews of color. Where are you getting these lies from? Wow!
Adding an extra dimension to their identity. So where do they belong? Are they Jews? Are they Hebrew Israelites? Are they both? Well, again, that really depends on who you ask. So I ask. In short, the Hebrew Israelite community is pretty diverse. But Asriel Moore, a 31-year-old Hebrew Israelite living in Israel, isn't particularly interested in definitions or labels of sympathy towards the Jews.
Matthews wanted to assimilate. His whole thing was about assimilation, which Bivens was against.
Rabbi Matthew would have been horrified by his former congregant Abba Bivens, who broke from the commandment keepers to found a new congregation that would soon give rise to some of the most noxiously anti-Semitic ideologies in America.
Bivens left the commandment keepers because they didn't teach the New Testament. Okay, so and how is it anti-Semitic if Bivens is teaching that our people are the real, authentic, original Semitic Israelites?
By the way, this guy isn't he Ethiopian? Where's this guy from? I mean, watch what he said. Listen.
Lying Mamzer, you.
There you go, right there. Y'all heard it. Yeah, they're not. Okay, cool, man. We good then. We good, Orlando. Just making sure. But anyway, the point is,
original Semitic Israelites. You lying Mamzer, you.
You lying Mamzer, you. You lying. Okay, so he said mulatto. What else did he say? Let me see. Is this it? Is this it? No, this ain't it. Where is this one at? Let me see if I can find it, family. Because, come on, man. Are you guys, I mean, I don't understand, family. Come on, so-called Northern Kingdom. You guys are mulattoes. You guys are spicks, wetbags, beaners. How many more names do you want? You guys are silly doves. You guys are dumb. You're no good kings. Come on, man. You guys like to be talked down to like that. Is this because your mama treated you that way? So-called Northern Kingdom? Or are you afraid to tell the black man that he is not an Israelite? But you're quick to tell the white man that. What? You think only the white man enslaved our people? No. Al contrario, mon frère. They did not come alone. If you guys have watched this channel, we have enough facts to prove it. Here's one of them right here. Black slave owners. Free black slave master in South Carolina, 1790 to 1860. Page 19 says, between 1840 and 1850, the community of African-American slave owners decreased by 34.5%. Most of the reduction occurred in Charleston District, where the majority of the colored slave owners lived. The largest losses appeared within the community of Charleston Neck, where the number of colored slave owners decreased by nearly 120 masters, leaving only 58 slaveholders in 1850. Really? Who was your slave, Mr. Black Man? Or did I hurt somebody's feelings? All you guys just skedaddle down on me? This is what we see. The number of distributions of black slave holdings. The number of black slave owners during the war was a fraction, supposedly, of the total slaveholding community of African Americans over all the slave years in South Carolina. Okay, just in South Carolina. 171 persons, black slave owners. They held 766 slaves in the state. In that state. I'm not done with my point just yet. I don't know, man. You so-called Hispanics, bro. You so-called Hispanics, I don't know what the hell's wrong with y'all. You guys are in these rooms. You guys are literally in these rooms. Documentation after documentation. Proof after proof. Name calling after name calling. And y'all don't still get it. You're quick to tell the white man they enslaved our people. But you're not quick to tell these guys too? You don't know about black conquistadors? Where you at, video? Come on, man. Oh, here it goes right here. There we go. We got this now. Let's see. So far, conquistadors, wetbags, mulattoes, mamzers. I don't know, man. Let's go back here. It's over here. I'm almost done, family. I was going to touch on the Mamzer part 2 more, but I'll probably do part 2 because this is kind of long. I want to just show these 2 books. I don't understand. You need to pay attention to how people talk. Their demeanor says everything about you, family. Do not go where you're not wanted. If you're not wanted there, why are you there? If your neighbor hates you, why are you there? Make it make sense, family. Hold on a second. Let me see if this is it. I'm going to waste my time trying to look at this. Hold on. Why this ain't it? Give me a second, family. Where you at? Maybe here? Nah, that's not it. Here it goes right here, fam. Okay. He calls this guy Mamzer. He looks kind of Hispanic.
Under women's names. It'll be a man posing as a female.
Yes.
You know who you are. Posing as a female.
Yes.
The conquistador doing that too. Posing as a female on Facebook and saying, yeah, I am IOIC, putting up incriminating pictures of us.
Right.
I am this, I am that. You think you slick? You know
okay. All of a sudden these memes come up where everybody picture and stuff typed on it. You started that. We know who you are. You edited video to lie on me. That trend started by you.
That's the Weasel. The Weasel?
That's right. Okay, the conquistador.
Yes. Wow. And guess what, wetback? And guess what, wetback? And guess what, wetback? And guess what, wetback?
All right, how much more? So far, he's called you guys mulattoes. When he went to that so what's that interview with Whitlock? Called you mulattoes. Now he called you wetback. The other idiot called you a conquistador. And a mulatto is a mullah. You're a hybrid. You're a hybrid. That's what you are. He's saying you're a hybrid. You're a hybrid, man. Yeah, they already left. Ya se fueron los llorones. I mean, I don't understand, family. Look, listen, after a while, you got to understand. Now, check this out. If this isn't going to convince you, then I don't know what is. Then you guys, then you're just, you just, whatever. Let's go.
An ideology rooted explicitly in the hatred of a lot of people, especially Jews. Unsurprisingly, radical Hebrew Israelites traffic in all of the greatest hits of anti-Semitic stereotypes. Jews control the world, Jews control the slave trade, Jews profit off of other people. Stereotypes. Jews control the world, Jews control the...
All right, here, right here. I gave you guys that link, that book, the Jews and the Muslims. This right here, family. Stop believing the BS. Because there was also black slavers. Okay? And I know that you so-called African Americans are not going to like this. Yeah, that's for sure, brother. That's for sure. It don't matter what they call us. But the problem is that these brothers are in there and sisters are in there. They're in those rooms being talked down to. Honestly, I don't know if it's, I mean, what is it going to take, fam? Matter of fact, let me get to my point. Watch this. So here he says, oh, look. You see this Ham? So watch this. The youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live throughout the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark race. So Ham is the creator of the dark race. So that means that Shem and Japheth are not dark. If you read it like for what it really is saying, it's not saying it, but it's referencing it. Not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. I mean, Ashdod. So make it make sense, because the other guy, the other skinny little dude, right? Didn't he say if you're black, you're Semitic? So if it is it Egyptian of when? Of then or now? What about Ethiopians? Ethiopians, they consider themselves black? Libyans, Canaanites. If a guy don't even know what the Canaanite, okay, let's put it this way, family. Has any of these One West doctriners, converts, identified the Canaanites? So if you read this, Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, okay, cool. Who are the Canaanites? And I don't understand, if the Ham is the progenitor of the dark races, how did you get Negroed? If he's the progenitor of the Hamitic phenotype race. So then that means that if you're not the Negro, means that you don't look like them, so then you mix with them. So who is the bastard? Oh, statistics do tell us otherwise. You know, I'm just saying. Who are the bastards, generally speaking? If you want to use that terminology. Don't play with words, family. Or Canaanites. Watch this real quick. Then he goes and says a bunch of dumb, stupid crap. Okay, here we go. Here we go right here, family. Watch this.
Other Jews. Take a look. Take a listen.
You see this book right here? Bam. That book right there. You see, fam, he's been showing this map for God, I don't know how long. Okay? So when I was in this school, I asked these suckers to give me the reference of the book. Not one time did I get it. Okay? So again, Los Indios Somos Israelitas, I appreciate you, bro. Because you led me to this book. And you know what? This is what happens when you read. That's why I had the book already for about almost a month. I had to read it. I had to read the chapter that the brothers reference. And in this chapter, it actually is debunking this map. Because in this chapter is basically identifying the Jewish proselytes, the Falashas, the Berbers, the Moorish. All of these guys are converts. That's why the book is called The Lost Tribes, a Myth. And see, this demon, this damn snake, Jake the snake, or Nate the snake from IUIC, your king. This is your king? This freaking liar? This witch? You think I'm lying? I'll show you. He's reading from this book. Where are you at? It goes right here. He's reading from this book, fam. I'm going to borrow the page. See? You're not slick. You're not slick, man. You're getting old. Let me show you something, family. Do not let these heathens get away with this. These damn Canaanites are not about to confuse my gente. Look real quick. Okay? If you see to the right, it says here. Where? Let me magnify this. Look. You see where it says, inform me that he, and you see Negro Jews, they're American, some of Judaism, Orthodox, they're American, some of Judaism, Orthodox. He is reading this book, fam. He's reading this book. Okay? And watch what he says. In this book here, what this book does is it literally tells you what we just read. All those pages that I read to y'all, this from this book. It's even talking about these so-called commandment keepers. Shapiro reports on them, right? Mr. Shapiro. Look, Mr. Shapiro. Okay? He's explaining, yeah, we could see with the actual, proselyting, or is that such a word? The conversion. See, the Minian Philistines, the compiler of Genesis 10:14 knew that Philistine and the other Cretans were in oasis strongholds, meaning the equator, controlled by Egypt. Casluim, out of which came Philistine, and Catharim. It is not possible on such a small map to show all the surviving Philistine communities. This book, he says these guys, watch what he says.
All right. Here, you see Spain there. All right. I want you to look at the borders of Africa. There's Arabia. Let me just come in closer.
Jewish kingdom, this here, it's talking about white Jews. Yahwism. All it is just pointing out the actual conversions. Get the book, fam. Read it for yourselves. It is literally, read it for yourselves. I'm not lying. Get the book. Read it for yourselves. You guys got to read, family. You guys got to read, and you cannot go by somebody. Look, are you telling me, oh, the white Jews, they're our enemy. Yeah, they're our enemy. But I'm reading the book. I'm reading their book. Come on, man. On page 256, you go to that actual page. He's on 257, 27 and 28 is the actual seconds. You see right here, he's reading this book. And the book is called The Lost Tribes, a Myth. Suggestions towards rewriting Hebrew history. By who? So make it make sense. So you show the map. You see, I have it in black and white, fam, right? He shows the map. Does he show the book?
All right. Here, you see Spain there. All right. I want you to look at the borders of Africa.
This book debunks all of this. This book literally debunks all of this. It's literally talking about the conversion. And it does mention sprinkles of some maybe Jews. But to go and say all of them, All of y'all? Or you especially? Nah, man. You a demon. This is the second book I catch you. I catch you hide. Yeah, this is your king, guys. Look, this guy's a hater, man. I'm telling you, this guy's a hater right there. This guy's got problems. So, anyways, let me continue. Where you at? See, some of us read. Some of us do read, family. Okay? That's one book. Let me show you another one. You're lucky I'm not even reading that out there, bro. Let's just throw that out there. You little so-called fake ass group prepping shit, man. Whatever. Let me continue, family. Let me not lose track of this. This is from the History of Africa by Leo Africanus, a black man. This is on, I think, chapter 2 of page 6. And on the bottom it says, for all the Negroes or blackamoors take their descendant from Cush, the son of Cam, who was the son of Noah. But whatsoever difference between the Negroes and the 20 Moors, certain it is that they had all one beginning. For the Negroes are descendants of the Philistines, and the Philistines of Mesraim, the son of Cush. But the tiny Moors fetched their pedigree from Sabian. And it's evident that Saba was begotten of Ramah, which was the eldest son of Cush. Diverse other opinions there be touching this matter, which because they seem not necessary, we have purposely omitted. Here's the other book. Right here. This book right here. The Physical Geography. Let me see.
Khazars once dwelt.
Watch this.
Near the Sierra Mountains. Y'all know this dwelling on.
Okay? A treatise of physical geography. A treatise of physical geography. You see that right there? Okay? That's what he's reading. This is book number 2. He shows one page, but hides the other. Let's go.
Physical geography, comprising hydrology, geography, geology, meteorology, botany, zoology, and anthropology by A. Barrington. This was first published. All right.
Now you see that there, okay? Now let me go to page 297. Give me a second here real quick. Here it goes right here. Page 297. He reads this. Thus the Jews are a people who have ever, according to the prophecy, dwelt alone, right? It's the same book, fam. Thus the Jews are a people who have ever, according to the prophecy, dwelt alone, without intermixing with the nations to this day. Now this separate race, as descended from brown ancestors, from Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, have been as dark as Maria, hot in it, darker, exhibit every shade of color. From the black Jews of Malabar, of whom have been such an interesting account by Claudius Buchanan. Listen, fam, if you're there and you're like at all like, oh my God, you're so right. Oh God, yeah, we're black, huh? We need go no further than the Jews of southern Spain and compare them with those of Holland and northern Germany to perceive a very striking difference, because the Spaniards were dark. The Spanish Jews is always dark complexion and his hair is uniformly black, while the German Jews is often fair, as the Germans has light and red hair and blue eyes. So now, then he's like, oh no, those are the other Jews. Okay, cool. Regardless of what he believes, okay, this is what he's reading. See, exhibit every shade of color, black Jews in Malabar. You guys aren't seeing it, okay? Watch.
Thus the Jews are a people who have ever, according to the prophecy, dwelt alone, without intermixing with the nations to this day. Now this separate race all descended from brown ancestors, for Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob must have been as dark as Mar Yohanan, if not darker. Exhibit every shade of color from the black Jews of Malabar, of whom we have such an interesting account by Claudius Buchanan, to the rose lily complexion of the Jewess. We need go no further than the Jews of southern Spain and compare them with those of Holland and northern Germany to perceive a very striking difference. Because remember, you had original black Jews and then you had white Jews, which were converts.
How convenient, right? How convenient that the white ones are the converts. Okay, let's go.
The Spanish Jew is always dark complexioned, and his hair is uniformly black, whilst the German Jew, this convert, is often as fair as any German and has light or red hair with blue eyes.
Now, we would assume that the Spanish Jew would speak Spanish, wouldn't he? And he would have Spanish names, right? So do you think they went to Africa, speaking Spanish in Africa? Let's go.
These are converts. These are Edomites. The various shades of color observable among the Negro or African race tends to the same conclusion. Along the coast of Guinea, which is low, marshy, and hot, we find jet black complexions, and this is the very country from which American Negroes have been derived. So these American Negroes, they know, are Jews. These are Israelites, descended from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Fact.
Fact? You sure? You sure, Canaan? That's it, fam. That's all he gave you. That's all he gave you from that book. Okay? But yet he doesn't read this. Let's go to page 296. And he can be acting stupid. Don't act stupid with me. Don't act stupid with me. You know damn well this is page 296. Nate the Snake. You know damn well that says right there. And you deacon, so-called deacon Icon, are you telling me you're not reading this? Let's read. It says, the rapidity which the color changes is seen in the English colony of North America. It is not 250 years since the first colonists arrived from Britain, and a much shorter time since the ancestors of the present New Englanders crossed the ocean. And yet they have lost the clear complexion of their kindred beyond the water, and acquired much of the hue of the southern French, northern Spaniards, so that if a assemblage of each nation were placed side by side, there could be no difficulty whatsoever in distinguishing them by their complexion alone. With respect to the intermixture with the Indians, we know, as a matter of fact, that it never took place. How come you don't read that? Oh, because it doesn't fit your narrative. You see this, the Aborigines of America, which is very stupid, goes back to those fake ass wannabe natives, right? That are Africans that unfortunately are, oh God, I don't know. Anyways, well, whatever. Our sisters had children with. Or another instance. Well, of course, because they're Africans. But check this, fam. This is book number 2. Why doesn't he disclose this? Are we doing selective now? Are we being selective in what we're going to teach? What was the beginning? What the video that I showed you from the beginning? Proverbs 6:16. What did I say? Proverbs 6:16 says, these 6 things does the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations. Are you not imagining some wicked ass shit, man? Seriously? Y'all get this book, family. I already gave you the links initially already. Here, I'll give you the link to this one. I think I did already. I must have. Yep, because that was the second book. Where's the other one at? That's not it. You guys have this one? Why didn't he read this to you? Why didn't he tell you that he got this from this book? Because this book is debunking this map. This book is explaining who these people are. Look. In the middle of the map says White Libyan dynasty founded among the Negro. White Libyan. Remember it says the progenitor of the dark race? Libyans are one of them. So Libyans are white now? Or are they black? Where are the synagogues in here? There's absolutely not one synagogue in here. And in the same book, fam, and in this very same book, okay, you have more maps. Watch. Why doesn't he show this other map? If he's about all of the 12 tribes. If we're all scattered abroad. Where are you at? Let me see. Oh, at the end. Give me a second. I believe it's in page. Hold on. Give me a second. 317. Let me see. Why didn't he show this map? Right here. Why not this map? It's in the book. There's Jews here too. Meaning or Tarshish, right? Iranian Jews. See, look. Some Aramean states not named in Old Testament. Look, you can look around. Jews massacred. Jerusalem. Philadelphia. Laodicea. Ephesus. Antiochus. Shoot, they even have synagogues over here. Palestine places, Jews. Y'all can look around. Why not show this map? District of the Jewish so-so? Why hide this? If you're all about all the 12 tribes. Because then you can't explain it, can you? Doesn't fit your narrative. I can literally do this book. This book is huge, fam. 850 pages. I suggest tackle it, dissect it, take your time with it. You got to look through this thing here. So, Nate, you got to explain yourself. Well, then again, you don't have to, because you know what, man? You got a bunch of dummies following you. So, quite frankly, they're probably not even going to realize that you're just a liar. And I pray to God, man, that you get what you deserve. Because you're literally leading a lot of people to damnation. I mean, quite frankly, family, you guys are being lied to. You guys are being lied to. He's lying to you. He's hiding information from y'all. Have him explain this. Ask for the book, fam. Ask them for the book. Tell them to show you the book. Say, where'd you get that? Where's that map from? What, you guys are scared? Look what he calls y'all.
For you. You ain't saying nothing against Netanyahu or okay, and in other nations, you're not going to stand and insult my people, and I'm just going to sit back and say nothing, because I'll guarantee you, if you insult the Arabs and their people, I bet you they come for you. Say something against Muhammad. I bet you they come for you.
Muhammad is an Arab. What's it going to take, fam? Watch this.
Crisis of the tribe of Judah, a black man. Does that piss you off? Are you?
So, is this what you guys are going to want to turn into? Is this why you're in these camps? You're wishing and yearning for the woolly hair and dark skin? Because that's what they're teaching. That you're going to turn into a flying black man. Didn't they push the black Jesus before the white man conquered them again? You see, family, I don't understand why I don't get it, man. Y'all need to really start reading history. This is playing itself out all over again. After 1865, we're back at this again with these two. You're not seeing? You got the white nation that used the Bible to where it's supposed to be to conquer. Now you got this so-called black nation that's using the Bible so-called to conquer, to put people in slavery, right? Isn't that what these two nations have done with the book? But yet you have our people who are just simply wanting to repent. After everything, I've talked to a lot of brothers, after everything I've done, after everything, brother, man, all we want is to repent. That's what we want, the book. If all those gifts come, all praises to the Most High. But that's not our number one intent. I want salvation, man. I want to get a chance to do it right. I want to be forgiven for all my sins. But you guys not. The white man and the black man run with the same spirit, family. Yeah, let's see. Isabella's 1492 Alhambra decree expelled approximately 300,000 Jewish and 100,000 African Muslims. There sought refuge from the persecution recruited by Britain to establish the first American colony. Yeah, it's true. That's why that book that I showed you, that Jews and Muslims, y'all got to get that book. Read it. Y'all got to read it, man. Well, I mean, how much more is he going to tell you, man? How much more is he going to say to you guys? He calls you Mamzers, wetbags, spics. Tell me I'm lying, IUIC. Tell me I'm lying that he's never called Hispanic spics. Now, you know I ain't lying. Y'all Negroes heard it too. Is it right here? Watch.
Shout to the Israelites.
Whether they're black or Jewish or Hebrew Israelite or some combo of the three, because Ashriel is right. We shouldn't focus on what divides us.
Greece and great kingdoms. Watch this. Let's go to Jeremiah 46. I'm only going to read the top few verses just so that y'all can see what the Bible's talking about. Jeremiah 46, we go.
Anyhow, I think we had enough of this old man. But I mean, I don't know what else is going to take. We could talk about, well, let me see this. Yeah, it's the same page. Yeah, let me put it on the link, fam. Kind of went long on this class, you know? And I honestly wanted to show y'all. I wanted to go over actual topics regarding the Mamzer stuff. Excellent references the brother gave me. I didn't even touch it. I think I'm gonna do another class on this tomorrow, or maybe in a couple days. But honestly, family, it's time for y'all to wake up, man. I don't know what is it gonna take. This dude is literally spitting in your face. Literally spitting in your face. I don't know what else to show. We already have enough proof that it wasn't just the white man that enslaved our people. But you guys are all in there. They're telling you that if you're black, you're Semitic. They're calling you mulattoes. Now they call this dude Mamzer. What's next? I mean, is the guy even I don't know what he could be, Hispanic? They called him an Arab. I know some Hispanics that look Arabs. So what do you call those people in your school, Nate? What do you call them, man? Are they mulattoes to you? Yeah, they are, because you called them that. So what's up, Ezekiel or Hidekel or however you want to be called, or Cornelius or Jehu or Mordecai? All of you so-called Hispanics, you guys mulattoes? I'm asking you, because I broke bread with you. Are you guys mulattoes? Are you wetbags? Are you spicks? Are you mamzers? Or are you bastards? Or are you whatever you are? Because this is what he says. Wish I would have brought more scriptures out, fam, but it wasn't a day to bring out scriptures, man. Proverbs 6:16, 6:17. A proud look, a lying tongue, a hand that sheds innocent blood, and a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, which is what he's done to other congregations, and he that soweth discord among the brethren. You don't think that by making comments like that shows discord? If I talk down to an individual and my son sees that, he's going to end up talking down to that individual just like that. If your leader says, you know the kingdom are no good kings, y'all are silly doves, beaners, wetbacks, spigs, mulattoes, mixed bastards, mamzers, come on, family. What more do you want? You want to be a punching bag? Wake the hell up, man. Anyhow, I'm going to do a class on the Mamzer prep. I really wanted to get to it. I kind of referenced it, family. But you know what? Oh, man, as I was watching this video, I was really doing it on Mamzer. But I watched the video, and I'm like, wait a minute. I got those books. And I know what he's reading because I read them. See, when you read, you get caught. The Light and Truth. I think I have that book. I haven't bothered really looking at it. I don't know. I don't remember, to be honest with you, fam. I have a lot of PDF books too, so that's kind of what helps. But we don't need to see more. You can just see. He shows you what he wants and hides what doesn't fit the narrative. See? If you're about the 12 tribes, you're not, man. You're a Pan-Africanist. Anyhow. All right, fam. Well, that's all I got, man. I wish I could kind of go into it, but it's almost going to be 3 hours, man. I need to probably, take care of some stuff. So tomorrow I got some stuff to do. Sorry if I was, sincerely kind of back and forth with y'all, family. Appreciate you being here. Apologize for ignoring any of y'all. I don't do it on purpose, but quite frankly, man, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I find these things and I'm like, bro, this has to give. Like literally, this has to give. Yo, for real, man. This has to give. How much more are y'all gonna put up with? How many more lies is it gonna take? I mean, but I guess it's like when a marriage where the man is beating up the woman. You know what I'm saying? And she gets so used to getting beat up. That's kind of like the relationship they want. They want to get beat up. So I guess you guys are really like to be talked down to that way. And you think that's righteous. And you're being a respecter of people. Because you're letting some man rule over you, to lord over you, to name call you, to demean your ass. You're a grown-ass man. You are a grown man, 50, 40 years old, and he's calling you silly doves. Wow. Wow. Anyhow, that's all I got, fam. Lord willing, y'all, got something out of this. Lord willing, he gets something out of that too. Listen, we all pay. We're all going to pay for everything we've done. And Nate, you're going to pay, sucker. You're going to pay. And I know you got your little minions like, yeah, that's my father. Man, shut up. You got your dad. Don't go and get adopted. You got your real parents. All right. And if you don't know your dad, then too bad. The seed don't fall too far from the tree. Damn heathens. Anyhow, y'all take care. Shalom, fam. That's all I got for y'all. I'm gonna play a song real quick, and then I'm gonna call it a night. All right. Where are you here, real quick? Anyways, I don't know if anybody wants to say something, man. Shalom, Michigan. Shalom, Orlando. Shalom. Vladimir. I don't know why, Vladimir, man. Your stuff never shows on one of my screens, bro. It only shows on the other one. I don't know what the hell that's about. But anyways, all right. Let me play you some songs, or a song, and then I'm out. All right. Peace.
Para pensar si hoy queda más que reír por lo que nos hizo sentir. Si la intuición no te deja seguir, no te vayas a rendir, no te quiero ver sufrir. Escúchate, lucha, que mucha de tu fuerza nace de ti. Vas a ver que alimañas muerden tus entrañas, con sus artimañas extrañan tu fin. Sigue pues si tus pies tocan el suelo, el anzuelo no tira de ti. Grita fuerte si la vida te duele, que vuele el dolor, lo expulsamos de aquí. Dame ya nago. Mi lloran frío. Antes de perder las formas, sé la luz del sol cuando no lo puedas ver. Cierra su boca cuando te hablen de más normas. Todo lo mal montado se ha de romper. Aunque que tú te rompas no hará más que estorbar. Si es bajo el castigo y mando de Lucifer, en verdad tú sabrás con lo que te conformas. Y yo con el super amor traer.
Hablan sin sentido y se enamoran.